That will do.
I make good mouth noises, apparently.
Sarcasm, sarcasm.
Do elaborate.
Sarcasm, man, sarcasm.
Wow. All the shit talking, apparently. Hey, anybody listening to the stream, let me know how that soothing audio music is coming through. Let me know if you need it turned up or down or what.
It's a little low.
Well, it's just supposed to be background music. It's not supposed to be like I'm listening to music.
Like airport music.
Yeah. It's ambiance.
Getting ready to fly away.
Look, when I first heard Down with the Sickness on an elevator, or elevator music, that's when I realized I'm old. Okay? Just saying.
Alright, my lovely dudes and dudesettes, welcome to episode 33 of Lord Z's Fantastical Dungeon. Hopefully properly named Hunt of the Lycans. I, as always, am your humble host, Lord Z, or Jacob. Let's go through introductions real quick. As always, Mike, you're up first.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Mike. I'm playing Michelangelo this evening. Michelangelo is a Tortillan monk. Yeah, he's took a vow of silence, so you're not going to hear a whole lot from him. But it's a fun time trying to get everybody to figure out what the hell I want to tell them. Short of that, I'm hoping to find my friend Godric and help his friends, and hopefully they'll become my friends along the way.
Alright, Pam.
Hi everybody, I'm Pam. I'm playing Miss Holly. I am a half-elf sorcerer, and the goal right now is to try to find as much help as possible so we can fix Lyra. At least that's the plan, or what Holly is planning to do.
Awesome, and if you could turn that sound bar down one more click for me, Pam. Eric, you're up next.
I'm Eric. I'm playing Willie the Barbarian. I'm just hanging out in camp, eating some stuff, killing some stuff, doing some gear games, apparently, chasing it down. We're going to see what we're up to this week. That's what I got.
Sounds good. Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Fit Chivalry, the Azamar Paladin. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point, but we are gonna hunt down some lycanthropes and bury them.
Alongside your faithful steed, Sir Fluffybutt, the unicorn. And last but certainly not least, Max.
Tis I, the faithful dragonborn, who is in an angsty mood this time, with his lovely companion, Mr. Hamish.
Hamish the Shadow Mastiff, yes. Yeah, so we left off last week. For some reason, you all thought it was a smart move to split the party, but, that's your grave. I mean, your choice. Michelangelo and Miss Holly went to the Harangon village, about a day and a half walk upriver, along with Sir Fluffybutt for a little extra security. You three arrived. You met Miss Pompey, the village elder, and negotiated a deal in exchange for some help getting your ship fixed. You guys would deal with the Lycan issue, wherein they've been breaking a peace treaty lately and hunting Harangons. The official treaty was they would not hunt any sentient beings, anything of civilized intelligence, and they've been breaking that treaty, specifically hunting Harangons. And you also made a little side deal that if for some reason you couldn't stop the Lycans from violating the treaty, there would be some
Potions.
oddities, some potions or magical items offered up as payment for the labor. And the rest of you stayed back at the ship, doing some routine work, trying to piece things together, get some semblance of repairs going. And not too much happened back there other than that. So that's where we leave off. It is morning. Michelangelo, you are still Michelangelo. You did your little fade in, fade out thing while you were sleeping. But when you woke up, you materialized and remained Michelangelo.
Well, morning. I'm obviously going to pop out of the shell and look around and find Miss Holly.
Oh,
Which we're in the same building / room. So.
You're in the same room. So yeah, she's
right.
laying on the cot across from you. Miss Holly, did you sleep at all that night?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you pop out of your shell and look across the room, and you can see Miss Holly sitting on the bed with her back up against the wall, kind of staring down at her hands, twiddling.
I'm going to shrug and, point my hands towards her and give her the inquisitive eye and put my hands up on my head like, oh, why ain't you sleeping?
I just don't feel comfortable sleeping.
He kind of nods his head and then goes, does a little 2-finger, like, walking signal. Yeah.
Let's go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go.
D&D sign language. I love it. Okay. Miss Pompey had offered to tour you guys through the village before you left. Was that something you were going to take her up on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm asking Mike, not Michelangelo. You can use your words with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys wake up and go upstairs. Miss Pompey has a little breakfast there. Some vegetables and grains. Not what you'd expect a breakfast to be made out of, but typical of a rabbit-based species. And she walks you around the village and shows you the 3 different family areas and kind of walks through. And the big thing as you guys walk through is you come from a world where almost anybody could be weaponized at any point. And here, it's not like that. It's very, very humble, very just living life. There are, of course, some guards. They do need security. But for the most part, people are just farming and living. But you spend maybe 30, 40 minutes walking around that morning. Polite conversation. She makes
a lot of nodding and bowing.
She makes a couple nudging marks at really liking magical oddities and figuring out what they do. And unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do, that's it before she bids you farewell.
Nope.
I do a big gracious bow and do a wave.
Okay. So you guys had to start making your way back. As previously established, it is a day and a half's hike back
Okay.
downstream.
Once we get to the gate,
Mhm.
we look at Miss Holly and Sir Fluffy Butt, and if she isn't already up on top of him, point up on towards his back.
Holly jumps.
Alright, and me and Sir Fluffy Butt are going to move at the quickest pace we can back towards camp.
Okay. Sounds good. When it comes down to evening time, are you guys going to stop or are you going to push through?
Depends on where we are. Just, if you want to spend the day with the rest of the crew and just let us know when we get to evening where we're at, we'll go from there.
Yep, not a problem. We'll come back around to you guys around evening time. So let's jump over to the crash site. What are you guys up to for the day?
Focusing on training Hamish and maybe myself in battle.
Okay. You had previously gotten Hamish trained up to the point where he was good with basic commands, sit, stay, that kind of stuff. And you had started working on attack commands, if I would recall correctly.
He has started to. He knows how to bite, but not to inflict damage, really.
That's right. Okay. Just kind of keeping with the same techniques. Go ahead and give me 2 animal handling checks for the day. 2 separate rolls, please. Okay. So you spend the day working with Hamish, periodically throughout the day. He's showing some improvements. He's not quite at the attack point. He more is acting like it's tug of war. So he'll bite and pull, but he won't bite and hurt, if that makes sense. And then you spend some time practicing your skills as well, brushing up on those. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Oh.
All right, Jeremy, Eric.
Other than checking the traps we set up last week, probably just helping with the boat.
Okay, go ahead and roll a D100 for me. Do you remember how many traps you set? It's like 4 or 5, wasn't it?
I thought it was like a whole bunch of them, like kind of in a crescent all around, but I don't know if a number was actually...
It's alright. We'll just do this. 7 of the snare traps you had set have a small mammalian creature captured in it.
And remember, some of them I set up were big enough for those deer things.
Yeah, those didn't get anything. The smaller ones, like the rabbit, real-life rabbit-sized ones, those all have something in it.
Okay. I'll come running up to Willie with them. Look what I got. Fresh food for the pot.
If you want to reset the snares, roll a survival check for me.
That was almost 20.
Okay. All right. And Eric, while he's out checking traps, what are you up to?
So when he runs over and he finds Willie, what he finds Willie doing is I have grabbed a stick and I've made a little makeshift fishing pole here. And let's see. I'll have that. And That's about how good that fishing pole is. And I'm just laying here on the riverbank, and I got my pole in the water, and I'm just taking it easy.
I'll do you one better. You guys have fishing gear on the ship, so you didn't need to make one. And that survival roll is how well you were capable of fishing. And say over the course of an hour you catch... Oh, look at you. You catch 4 good-sized fish.
All right. I'll throw them on the bank, and I'll be like, yeah, we eating good tonight, Fitz. We eating good.
Yes, we are.
The other two
I
are
am looking
living
forward to
off
that,
rations and getting fucked with by fairies. Y'all are eating deer and rabbit and fish and...
How many? This is what, 2 days we've been here now?
I believe this is the 3rd day.
So 3 days in,
No.
Fitz, no one's tried to murder us. I haven't been bothered.
4.
We're just out here.
This is day 4.
Day 4 even. I mean, honestly, we could almost just stay here, really. This ain't so bad.
I don't know, man. I haven't killed anything in a while, and just itching to dish out some righteous fury.
Hey, yeah, if you want to go chase down a deer, I can give you these boots. They'll have you flying.
I appreciate that, Willie, but I know the level of hand-eye coordination I have while traveling at high speed. I will catch a tree.
That's fair. That's fair. You just end up stabbing yourself, and that's no good. Can you smite yourself, Fitz? Does that work?
You know, I'm not sure.
I don't know if you'd want to try.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope we don't find out.
Yeah, let's not and say we didn't.
Well, if you want to grab a pole, I just plan on staying here for a bit. It's nice. I'm sure they'll be back at some point, or they're dead. I mean, you know.
No, Sir Fluffybutt's still alive, so I assume that he would be the first to sacrifice his life before letting them die, because that's just the kind of bro he is.
No, you can just tell that. I didn't know. Good to know. Wow.
Yeah.
Guess they're still alive then.
Can't talk to him from this distance, but you know, the fact that the spell hasn't come off a cooldown says that he's still there.
You take damage if he dies, don't you?
No. Oh, a little bit of emotional damage?
Yeah.
He's not a familiar. A
That's
familiar,
right.
He'd take damage.
Familiar,
Yeah.
you take psychic damage if they go down.
Yeah. Yep. He's not a familiar.
Right idea, wrong spell.
Yep. You got it.
So, I guess I'm gonna go get some fishing gear and one of those little casks of ale,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go fishing.
All right. Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
I just feel like this is not going to be anywhere near as good as his. Oh, okay, that wasn't too bad.
It's not bad at all.
Hey,
Yeah.
I left some fish suits in the inventory.
Yeah, those are like space suits. They don't actually look like fish or
Oh.
have anything to do with fishing.
No, I was thinking they could, go explore the depths of the water or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's a pretty shallow stream. It's like, I think I described it as about up to your knees.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Never
not
mind.
super deep. But yeah, you're, into the afternoon, you're able to catch about 2 fish. Decent sized ones. Keepers if you want them. If not.
Well, yeah, I mean, it all goes in the stew.
Okay. Any of the 3 of you up to anything else for the rest of the day?
I'm not. Taking it easy.
Just getting drunk while fishing while the dwarves do all the work to try and repair the ship?
I will help the dwarves since I'm not doing anything.
We do pay them. It's not
This
like
is
we're
true.
standing
I'm
there with
just-
a whip forcing them.
I'm just talking smack. But
Hey, if they want to help me chew the eyeball out of a dragon, we'll talk about it.
they are very much the ship is their home. They're very devoted to working on the ship. Pretty much got all the wood sorted in terms of what's usable and what's not. It's a pretty easy day for them. They're basically just spending the day trying to figure out what they need to produce to actually repair the ship. So it's a numbers game for them. It's not much in terms of manual labor.
Yeah, we're feeding them, so I think we're doing our part. Especially as
I'll
Lily's
tell them at
cooking.
some point. I'll be like, if you want some trees chopped down, I'm your man.
They acknowledge and get back to work. Because I forgot what voice to do with them.
I think they've been Scottish, Russian.
I think mostly Scottish. I think that's kind of what I lean towards. But
Pretty sure at one time they
I'm not a-
sounded like somebody come straight down the mountains of Tennessee. There's been a few of them.
I'm not a voice actor. I do the best I can, okay? But alright, so that's your guys' day. We get up to the evening. For the sake of brevity, if you guys are gonna do a watch, I'm just gonna have everybody roll me a perception check all at once, and we'll see if anything happens.
You said perception?
Yep. That'll be Mike and Pam as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody. I'm talking all 5 of you. Just have
Well, I
everybody
thought
do a
you were
perception
dealing with-
check.
Separate groups. You know what I mean?
Kinda yes, kinda no. Not great on perception,
That's
guys.
because me and his style ain't really seeing much.
I haven't slept. I'm tired.
Okay. Well, the night does go off without a hitch. We'll say Michelangelo and Miss Holly, you guys did stop. Pam, I just need to know if Miss Holly is actually going to sleep or not.
No.
No? Okay. You are going to take a level of exhaustion because it's now been like 2 days that you haven't slept.
But
Yeah.
No.
You need to sleep.
It is what it is. So, first level exhaustion, you get disadvantage on all ability checks. So, you're just tired, you're starting to not be able to focus. You're half elf, so it's not as rough on you as it is, a normal human. But, you're definitely going to feel the effects.
I want to interject in our evening thing here.
Okay.
I took first watch. Once first watch was done, I'm pulling out the telepathy and I'm going to tell her to sleep.
okay. And then I'll do it.
Wow.
She has just so much responsibility. Like, you guys don't understand all the weight that she's carrying right now with all this guilt. And we can discuss all day and night. But the way that she feels, more than ever, she's responsible for everybody. And she has this guilt where she has to make it right for everybody.
But none of you know that, and we're not going to metagame. So...
Right.
No, I think we all know that.
Well-
I think that's pretty obvious.
Fitz, you got a first-hand look at that before they left, because she was kind of having an emotional breakdown about needing to fix the situation before she took off for the Herringon village.
Yep. And I told her it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, well,
She didn't believe me.
you guys kind of have an idea, but you not really sure what's going on, underlying issue-wise. But all right,
I
so
assume teenage angst.
yeah. But the night goes off without an issue. And the next day happens. You guys will get back to the camp around lunchtime.
Sleep time. Do you want something?
I already told you to roll a perception.
If he
That's
disappears,
Oh, yeah, roll a d20. You're right. Oh, you know what to do.
I know what to do.
I'll give Das Boot. Oh, you got it. Okay. So Miss Holly, you sleep first, and you wake up for your watch. And
No. Oh yeah, she does sleep first.
So
She's sleeping during my watch.
Michelangelo forces you to go to sleep and get some sleep, and he stays up long enough for you to at least get a short rest to keep the exhaustion off of you. And he wakes you up for your watch, and he lays down to sleep. And when he lays down to sleep, he starts kind of fading in and out, as you've noticed he's been doing every time he sleeps.
In my shell.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I go in my shell.
Your whole body fades. It's not just your face, dude.
No, I said my shell because I go in my shell.
Yeah, your shell is part of you. It fades too.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he kind of fades in and out of what's the word? Words are hard. Reality. We'll go with that for now. And after, it's coming up time to start waking him up and get moving for the day. When you go to wake him up, he completely disappears, and your hand kind of pushes through where the shell was and stops, and Godric's shoulder is underneath your hand.
What the fuck? Godric?
Godric, you experienced a snap, what we discussed before.
Yeah. You don't have to fill me in.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out that Miss Holly's reaction right there is probably the most realistic part of D&D we've experienced yet.
Like,
You want to put me on the map?
Don't worry about the map.
Okay. Then we will do this by theater of the mind.
Yeah, maps are only for
Yeah.
people that don't cause emotional damage to their friends.
I know, I'm fine. I'm fine with theater of the mind. Miss Holly, hi, how's the ship? Like, what's going on?
You're muted, Miss Holly.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to work out her
She's so
audio.
excited.
I was trying to work back her feedback issue, but we're gonna have to just deal with it.
I don't hear any feedback.
You're
like-
the only one that's hearing the feedback.
Are you sure you don't have feedback?
I'm positive.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, say something again, Pam?
Hello.
It was my mic picking up the TV talking in the other room. I just shut my office door, and now it's fine. So, that's my bad.
So it was your problem.
No, I don't have the feedback. It must be her.
Well, it's because of her.
Because of me.
Hey, I'm the streamer.
sure.
I don't do anything wrong. Anyways, Godric, you had said something to Pam. Or Miss
Yeah.
Holly. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Miss Holly. Hi. What's going on? Where's the ship? Where's Trevor? Where's everybody else? What's going on?
Where are you?
Huh?
Don't give me that face. Where were you?
What do you mean, where was I? I got you to help the ship as we were coming down, and that's the last thing I remember.
No.
Yeah.
You
No.
disappeared, Godric, and Michelangelo appeared.
Michelangelo?
Yes, and he
My
was
Tortilla
right
friend?
here. Yes, and he was here right now as I'm trying to wake him up, and you just pop out of nowhere.
Godric stumbles to his feet. He's looking around. I don't see Michelangelo. I don't-
He was like you.
Like me, huh?
Like you inside of you. You and him.
I mean, we're close. He's one of my best friends, but
He was so deep inside you, dude.
I don't want to make it like a
All
Britney
up in
Spears
that
song,
shell.
but you two were one person without making it like a Britney Spears song. But you two were one.
I don't know what you're going on about, Miss Holly, but where's the ship? Where's Trevor? Where is everybody?
It's me.
Like, cause I mean, remember we're out in the middle of
Yeah,
wherever
you
we
guys
camped.
camped in the middle of the woods, so you're a couple hours hike from the crash site.
You don't remember anything? You just remember the ship and we crashed and that's it? You don't even know how
That's
we got here?
no man. I know we went through the tear, and I remember the ship was going down. I remember coming and waking you up, and you were trying to maneuver the ship so we wouldn't crash.
Well,
And
unfortunately, we crashed. And you
oh
wouldn't wake
no,
up. You were unconscious, and we tried waking you up. We tried doing a lot of things. Make story short, you ended up in the water because we didn't know what else to do with you. I don't want to laugh, but you
well,
ended up in the water because we didn't know what else to do. And then you disappeared, and now you became Michelangelo, and you came with me to find help, to fix Lyra. We met through a little town with rabbits and the little burrows, and then we were just coming back because we made a
rabbits.
deal with them.
Rabbits? Are you serious?
Yes, I know. I know. I thought barbecue the whole time. But that's besides the point. We found help, and then you were asleep, and now you're this. And
Well, I'm me. At least I think I'm me. It feels like me, and yeah, I think I was in water because my clothes are wet. But I mean, so there must be some truth to what you're saying. But Miss Holly, I promise you, I don't remember anything after the crash.
I kind of
I'm
start
sorry.
moving Gabrick to try to see if like Michelangelo is like hidden somewhere in there. So I kind of start pushing him around and trying to see if I can find Michelangelo somewhere. I'm just looking very confused, like, okay, well, I'm so thankful that you're back,
Well, me
but
too. But if Michelangelo's here, yeah, I don't want to
no,
leave him. And I'm
no,
looking around.
it's you.
Well, Miss Holly, I promise you. I mean, I'm me.
Holly's just like, maybe I need to sleep.
Have you not been sleeping?
I haven't.
Miss Holly, now you know better.
I have a lot of responsibility right now.
Uh, you know very well that this group shares responsibility together. There's no reason for you to try and shoulder all this weight on your own.
Preach on, sister.
I'm not on my own. I have Sir Fluffy Butt and Michelangelo, and now you're here. So I'm not technically on my own, but we
That's
need to
right.
make this right. I need to make this right. I need to not let down the team.
Hey, you put your best foot forward every time we go into battle. Every time we get into a situation. That's all anybody can ask of you. That's all any of us can do. So you take some of that guilt and some of that worry, and you just let the rest of us shoulder some of that. And we will work together, we will figure this out. Now, I suppose we better go find the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And yes, Holly's
And
very emotional right now.
Godric's going to give her a really big bear hug. Really big bear hug, because
Alright.
it's Godric.
You guys start walking, and a couple hours hike back to the crash site. So she spends the time filling you in on the last couple days over that period of time. So you get all caught up on the ship and the ship's state and the crew state and meeting with the Herringons and the deal struck and all that jazz. So you're up to speed on it.
Okay.
And then after she calms down a little bit, she's able to better verbalize the Michelangelo experience. The fading while he's sleeping and all that. If you want to give me like an arcana or an insight check in an attempt to interpret any of that, feel free.
20.
it tingles your memory to something you read a long time ago about planar shifting, but you can't quite remember the details of what you read.
Okay.
And I'm gonna remember and say he had a rock, he had a crystal, and he kept referring that maybe you were there. He just kept referring to the rock and the crystal when we kept asking first, where were you? Because of course everybody kept asking what
Miss
Michelangelo did.
Miss Holly, I can tell you right now why he had a rock.
No, I know, but the rest
My,
of the
my,
crew didn't. So the rest of the crew, Jandris especially, was ready to make a turtle barbecue, by the way. So, it's been really hard on him to to
well,
to kind of understand that I knew him, that I knew Michelangelo, and that he wasn't an enemy, and that he couldn't have done anything malicious to hurt Godric in any way, shape, or form.
sure, absolutely not. But I can tell you why Michelangelo is carrying a rock though. He's carrying a rock because he's always called me the Rock.
So you were with him this whole time?
No, that's just his way of talking.
Hey, Max, while they're
Well,
talking, give me an animal handling check.
huh?
He was probably trying to tell you that he was looking for me, knowing that old turtle.
Well, we all were at some point, but it was kind of hard to explain what had happened to you when you vanished and he appeared out of the blue. And then the same thing just happened in reverse. Now he disappeared and now you're back. Which we're very thankful that you're back. I just don't understand why this shifting of energies and disappearing acts keep happening.
Well, that's obviously something we'll have to get to the bottom of, because I am not aware of what's happening either. I have a slight memory of something I read in a book long ago, in regards to portals.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no portal expert, you know that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if that is what's actually happening, we definitely need to get to the bottom of it and figure out why, so that we can stick around. And I would like to see my old friend at some point again too. So, because apparently he's out there looking for me.
I'm going to cut you guys right there and jump over to the Crash crew, as I just named you guys randomly. Yurndris, you did some more training with Hamish that morning. He's definitely getting more aggressive. It's just taken work to get him trained. It's still kind of a tug-of-war thing, but he's getting more aggressive about it. So it's definitely something that might come in handy if you think about it. The morning carries on. Anything in particular you guys want to do that morning?
Actually want to go look into Holly's room because I haven't talked to her since I kind of yelled at her.
Okay.
And he doesn't know that they left still. He's still very much not realizing. So he's gonna go knock on Holly's door.
No answer.
He's just gonna say, Holly.
Still no answer.
He's gonna walk over to Fitz's door and knock on Fitz's door then.
Fitz, are you in your room currently?
Honestly, I was probably sleeping outside.
Okay. So no answer.
He'll walk outside then and just start calling Fitz and Willie's name.
Probably laying by the bank hungover.
Yeah. I'll agree.
You start hearing grunts and it's coming from the riverbank. You're just
He's gonna run back down to his bedroom, grab his battle axe, and start sprinting over where he's hearing groaning coming from.
yeah. You triple time shuffle to get your battle axe, and as you come over, you see Fitz and Willie both in a hungover stupor, it's very obvious that they spent the night cuddling each other on the riverbank.
What did I just walk in on?
It was colder last time than it looks. Okay? Don't judge. Don't judge.
His infernal nature makes him very warm.
True.
Okay, I'll ignore that. Have you guys seen Holly anywhere?
There was something about that. What was it about Holly, Willie?
She is with the turtle guy.
Right. Her and Donatello and
There it is. There it is. There it is.
yeah, and Sir Fluffy Butt went to the Heron village to enlist their aid to repair the ship. They should be back today or tomorrow.
He's gonna stand there wide-eyed and drop his axe and start screaming, "You just let her walk off on her own with a fucking turtle and a unicorn?"
I don't know if you've met Miss Holly. I'm not sure let is the proper verbiage there.
I'm just gonna kind of shake my head. I'll just be like, that actually sounds like a good team.
I mean, honestly, I had to kind of force her to take Sir Fluffy Butt just so there was somebody there I trusted.
He's gonna pick his axe back up and just launch it into a tree behind Fitz's head and walk right up to his face, point a finger into his chest and go, "You let Miss Holly wander off on her own and didn't go with her?"
Yes.
And then I will speak up, like, almost excited. I'll be like, but he knows the unicorn's not dead.
That's true. Sir Fluffy Butt is still okay.
Matter of fact, we should be close enough.
Yeah, as Yerndris has you by the scruff and is like in your face with the, "Will you let her go by herself?" You hear the little ting in the back of your head of Sir Fluffy Butt going, we're inbound, Fitz. Something happened to the turtle. You got to see this."
Dude, they're back.
They are 600 feet away from you, upstream, if I recall the distance correctly.
They are 600 feet from us upstream, according to Sir Fluffy Butt. So let's just wait a second, and apparently something happened with the turtle that I have to see. Hey,
Nope. Put me right there. Put me right there.
That's Godric.
You guys look upstream, and you see Godric ahead of Miss Holly and Sir Fluffy Butt walking towards you.
Look, it is what it is, guys. But can you guys take that to a room?
What?
Looking like a menage a trois on the riverbank right now.
Right.
Holly walks.
Willie, Fitz,
What is this?
the hell?
What is this shenanigans?
I was just explaining to Yendris, and can we not yell, please? That you were okay, that Sir Fluffy Butt was with you, and that he was okay. See, Yendris?
What?
Everything's fine.
I think the question everybody wants to know is, Yerndris, what is your reaction upon seeing Godric?
He's not really gonna recognize that Godric is standing right there. He's gonna look straight at Holly, and he's just gonna start booking it and just as soon as he gets close enough, he's gonna scoop her up into a hug and just start squeezing her while crying, "I'm so sorry. Please forgive me."
A little tight, but you're okay. Yeah, I don't know what you're apologizing for. Gotrick is here. Look towards the left. Look.
Shh, just let it happen.
He's gonna set her down very gently, and then he's gonna turn his head slowly and see Godric, and the tears are just gonna start like falling down his face, and he's just open mouth wailing at this point, and he's just gonna scramble to get up a little bit and just start charging at him, and basically tackles him to the floor while hugging him.
Hey, don't hit me. What's going on?
And I'm gonna look
Here by ourselves.
Willie, you slipped away there. What are you doing?
I'm gonna run inside and I'm gonna crack open that second thing of ale. I'm gonna get me and Fitz a big old cup there, a little hair of the dog for the morning, and I'm gonna head on back in a second once it.
Okay. Yeah, that takes a minute. So.
While the whole situation is going on with, Gotrick and Yindris, I'm gonna look at Fitz and say, "Are you drunk?"
Not anymore. Now I'm just hungover.
We go in the middle of the woods and you guys are partying and getting drunk, and I don't want to ask any shenanigans, but like, I don't recognize you, Fitz. And she kind of has this weird, disappointing face on her, like, cause daddy figure, quote quote. But
you now at this point, Pam, you notice the pile of dead fish, couple feet up from the riverbank.
And you all had a feast? And she's just there, like, pointing at the evidence. The feast?
Well, we were just kind of sitting here waiting for you. And, Willie was here drinking, and
as you say that, Willie sidles up next to you and puts a flagon of ale in your hands.
Really?
What a breakfast.
Holly's gonna look at them, just nod, and Holly's gonna go.
I'll just kind of look at you and be like, "So, you okay? Face looks a little weird. Did you find those hair gums?"
She's just gonna look and just walk away. No, she's walking away from the situation right now. She's walking away from the situation right now.
Shake my head. I'll look at Fitz. Did I say something?
# mom mode.
Take a long draw of my ale.
I think she's upset. I'm not sure why yet.
So,
I do know it's my fault, though.
Are you drinking the ale, Fitz?
No, I am actually going to cast resist poison on myself.
Okay.
I need one of those in real life.
Well, that ruins it. I was just going to have you do a Constitution saving throw just to see if you puke from the smell or not.
Well, as I see that if he like looks at it and he like kind of shakes his head, I'll just be like, I'll just take it in my hand and I'll like double palm the ale. I'll be
like, your resist poison clears up. Well, no, yeah, it clears up the hangover.
You're lucky the DM put the coin on that, bro. That's what that meant.
Yeah, it should have been. It should have been a laceration, but if you think about it, alcohol is kind of poison, so any effects from it checks out. The logic's there.
Technically, I mean, it is poison. It's not kind of.
Yeah.
Well, all this is going on, and me and Yirndris apparently are now laying on the ground. I'm gonna just smile and, I say I missed you too, Yirndris, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember anything after the crash. Miss Holly's been kind of filling me in on our way back here. So it is good to see you, though. Good to see all of you. And then I kind of look over at the ship and, oh my God, Trevor. How's Trevor?
He's not doing so hot.
You look up and you can see Trevor. It's weird seeing a tree bent, but he's literally bent over where his face would be is almost touching the railing that he grows into the deck next to. He's just completely slumped over.
Yeah, that's not good.
He's alive. We checked.
How do you know? He's a treant. Did you check for a pulse?
I'm not sure how we decided that he was still alive.
You recall that the druidic dwarves took a look at him and determined that he is alive. He will just remain unconscious until the ship is fixed.
And you guys are out here fishing and drinking instead of getting this boat fixed or ship fixed. Are you serious right now, guys?
Don't rope me into this. I've been helping and I've been talking to Trevor. Leave me out of this.
Can
Well-
Holly do something real quick?
Yeah, what's Holly doing?
Holly's on the other side and she's gonna look at the farthest tree that she has and she's gonna do fireball because she's livid and she wants to turn something on fire.
Fireball or firebolt?
Bolt. I don't
Bolt.
plan to turn
Okay.
the whole woods on fire because we're here. But
Okay.
some little damage will make her feel a little better.
Yeah, drop the hit in the chat box for me.
Well, she's casting her fireball. Well, guys, if what Miss Holly is telling me is true, I don't know.
Not
if
the
I'm gonna
damage.
be here.
Roll the hit, Pam.
The hit. Alright, fine.
I don't know what's going on with me, but I may not necessarily be here in the morning. And as Miss Holly told me, she told you guys, Michelangelo is a friend of mine. He can be trusted. He's one of my dearest friends, actually. He helped
As
me
you're
through some hard
mid-sentence,
times.
you just hear Miss Holly go, "Ah!" And then the familiar boom of a firebolt hitting something. And you look over, you can see some smoke and plumage coming off one of the trees on the far side of the ship.
Well, after having that conversation with Miss Holly on the way back, I kind of understand why she's over there doing that. So I'm going to turn to the rest of the guys and go, Miss Holly is holding on to a whole lot of baggage for what's occurred here. So guys, we got to get this fixed as quickly as possible. And Miss Holly probably has the details since I wasn't there, but she said that she made arrangements with the hares to discard some lichen issues, and in return they're going to help us fix the ship. So I suggest, while time is dwindling short for me, because who knows come morning, we better get on the move with our tasks here.
I do want to be blatantly honest with you, Godric, whilst he's wiping tears from his face. Amidst the crash, your shrine got destroyed, but I put it back together the best I could. Because I felt like that's what was needed in that moment. So if anything's misplaced or damaged, I do apologize. I tried my best.
Well, Godric will put his hand over his chest and bow to Yerndris, and y'all know how often Godric bows. I really appreciate that, Yerndris. That means a lot to me. Doesn't matter. You did your best. That's the important part. I appreciate that. Thank you.
For brevity's sake, we'll say that you guys all, after Miss Holly calms down, you guys all sit down with her, and she fills you in on the details of the bargain struck with the Herringons, that they would provide workers immediately in exchange for you guys dealing with the lichen throat problem. She did mark on your guys' map where the Lycans were last known, and I circled that on the Phaland map that I gave you all.
Yeah, when I switched characters, I lost all my maps.
Okay, I'll share it again.
I was gonna say I'm kind of trying to look it up right now.
But she recommended you follow the river downstream until you can see the mountains, and then just keep walking south with the mountains on your right until you hit another river, and then head straight towards the mountains, and you'll get to it. So I put a circle and a line on the map for you there. And let me share that.
There we go.
Color choice was sub options.
You what?
I said that purple line was hard to see.
Oh, yeah, well, purple world. My bad. But that's the recommended course of action. And you spend a good hour going over everything that they encountered on the trip to and from the Haragon village. And about mid-afternoon that day, a good 30-40 Harangons show up with building materials and start working with the dwarves right away, kind of figuring out what needs to be done and looking at the ship and just generally getting to work with it. So really, I just need to know what you guys are going to do at this point.
So my question is, how many days do they think it's going to take to do this?
The Harangons aren't very good shipbuilders. They're basically gophers in this case, and the dwarves have to do all of the trained work on it. They're ballparking 2-3 weeks.
So in other words, our crew is the contractors, and the herrings are the helping hands.
Yeah. So it could be quicker, but it realistically probably looking at about a month. It is a roughly
I thought it was a month with just us.
No, it was like 3. It was like 3 months. No, when you guys had the original conversation, it was a month with a full crew working.
Yeah.
But I was saying it's roughly a 4, maybe 5 day hike to where the Lycans were known to be established.
I mean, Godric in true Godric form. Time to go. We got shit to do.
Ollie sits in silence. She's burning up inside, so she's keeping it to herself.
Miss Holly, if obviously Lycans are not going to be very friendly, so there's going to be plenty to burn up once we find Lycans.
I understand.
I say we get a move on.
Okay. Is anybody opposed to leaving immediately?
Huh?
Anybody opposed to leaving immediately?
Before anybody says anything, I want to look at Willie and I want to look at Fitz, and I'm like, are the kids sober already? Can we get to work now?
Willie's about as sober as he is on any day of the week.
Especially a Tuesday.
Godric's gonna check in with Baron before we leave.
Okay.
Make sure he's got all the notes that he needs with the herons and the materials, and knows that he's in charge, and get this moving as quickly as possible.
Aye, we do our best, sir.
I know you will.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to do before you all start heading inland?
Oh, one quick question. Did I get a long rest?
Yeah, you would have had one by this point.
Okay.
Did we level up?
I'm gonna go grab my battle axe from the tree.
Did we level up?
No. You haven't done anything since the last time you leveled up. I think you had one astral encounter. You're level 10. It takes more than one random encounter to level up. Come on now.
He wrecked a
An
ship.
emotional encounter should count as a level up.
Should drop you down a level, I think. That's when I pick which spell goes away. But no. So you guys start walking. You know, you get maybe a good 3 hours in before it's time to set camp for that first night.
Anybody want to have any conversations while we're walking?
Yep.
By the way?
Now's a good time. We'll just cover conversation for the duration of travel, and you know, we'll kind of expedite the process here a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Holly.
All right, have at it.
He's gonna walk up to her and he's gonna go, "Hey, can I pull you away for a minute?"
Yes, of course.
Okay. He's gonna walk to a secluded part where the other people can't hear the talking going on, and
Everybody make a
gonna-
perception check.
Right?
fuck you.
Who's not a part of that conversation?
Oh,
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
Willie, Fitz, and Godric perception checks.
Nat 20.
Oh no, it is what it is.
Yeah, Godric, you're just hyper vigilant because like you woke up in the middle of the Feywild and apparently it's been days. And
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on, so you're just hyper vigilant, and like anytime anything happens, you're like the fuck and paying attention. So Godric, you hear the conversation. Nobody else will.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's just gonna get down on his knee and he's gonna bow his head and say, "I am so sorry for how I reacted before you left. That was, it was a lot of emotions, and I did not mean to lash out at you like that."
I know. I understand. And she's gonna give a hug. Thank you for talking to me. I know that it had nothing to do with me personally, but everything that was going on, especially with Godric being missing. So I understand. It's okay.
Look up at you, and he's gonna go, it's actually not okay, because my wife would be very ashamed if she knew I yelled at you like that, but that's beside the point. But I truly am sorry, and I've been spending the past 4 days, regretting my decision to yell at you like that, and, if it's any consolation, if you really need a friend, I am here. It's really not your fault what happened. You did everything you could, and that was more than enough. You honestly saved the ship from even more damage than what would have happened had you not done what you did. So, thank you.
No, of course, and I understand, and you had asked me if I was okay when I was being tortured, and I would have done this regardless, but a lot of things were said to me, and that's one of the main reasons why I feel responsible for everything that happened. I understand that, you know, everybody trying to comfort me and saying it's not my fault per se. I was basically told that I was useless, and if anything happens to the crew, it's because of my fault, and that I don't know how to take care of my family, and you guys are my family. So I just have a lot built up, and I try not to talk about it, but that's why I have this huge responsibility over me. Again, not that if that wouldn't have happened, I still wouldn't feel responsible. But I just need to make it right. I just need to make it right. I appreciate you coming to talk to me, and I appreciate the honesty behind it. But you don't need to be sorry. We were all dealing with emotions since we crashed, Lyra. But I do appreciate it, and thank you for your kind words. I'm just gonna hug.
Yeah, he's
Like,
gonna. Yeah, I get it.
the hug.
The hugs.
The holly hug. She jumps, but not exciting jumping, like a emotional jumping. Gotta put that into a little GIF image, like jumping, but not exciting jump, an emotional jump.
Giddy.
He'll obviously catch her and he'll give her a hug back, but he won't like break the hug until she's ready to like release the hug.
Okay.
And we stay there for like 20 minutes.
Just hugging. In the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hey everybody, we're gonna take a 20-minute. No, I'm joking. All right. Any other conversations or anything special you guys want to do while traveling?
When Miss Holly and Yerndris catch back up to the group, I'll walk next to Miss Holly, put my arm around her, and go, "We'll get through this. We've taken out dragons before. We'll get this figured out too. Don't worry about it."
Thank you, Gotrick. Thank you.
Yerndris, make animal handling at advantage for me. We're just gonna say that while traveling, you're gonna continue working obedience skills type stuff, just to get a little proficiency with working with Hamish. Ooh, not great. It's hard to do it while you're on the move.
Yeah,
So,
and also it's bad.
absolutely. I need everybody to make a perception check for me. And Mike, I need you to roll 2 straight d20s for me.
There's 1, 16, and a 2.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
My first roll was accidentally nature.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, one more d20, Mike.
Yep. 15.
Perfect. Okay. So you guys only get about 3 hours of walking in that first day. You go to sleep that night. Godric fades, just like Michelangelo had been. But wakes up as Godric still. That night, you all share the same dream. The quick flyby through the forest, through the mountains, through the swamp, stopping at a labyrinth.
That's a new one for Godric.
That is a new one for Godric. That is the first time you've experienced that.
Uh-huh.
The day continues. You guys keep walking down the river. You go to sleep that night.
Wait. Before we get to that point,
Go ahead.
I want to actually talk to Fitz.
Okay.
Hey, Fitz?
Yeah. What's up, Goddard?
Hey, bud, odd thing, and, you know, being a fellow man of the cloth, I thought maybe you would be the man to talk to. Last night, I had a weird dream. I think the gods are trying to talk to us. They showed me in a forest, and then I described the dream.
You recognize the generalization of the forest. It looks very much like where you're at now.
You know, I thought maybe it was just the crash, the emotions from finding out that Miss Holly is an adopted daughter of mine.
But she's an adopted daughter. What?
You
Oh,
were around for that.
yeah,
Was I?
Yeah,
yeah.
that was pre-tear.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind. Scratch out.
You know, all of that stuff going on. I kind of thought that maybe it was just the stress, but if you're having that same dream, I think you're right. That would make sense that the gods are trying to speak through us. I mean, that's kind of what we're here for.
What? Have you had anything like that?
That is the exact same dream I have been having every night since we landed in this godforsaken wild.
Oh, wow. Now, mind you that I am having this conversation with Fitz while we're walking together as a group.
Yep.
So I don't know if...
So everybody hears them talking.
Okay. Well,
I'll speak up and I'll be like, I've had that same exact dream.
Godric will look at Eardris and, oh, really? How about you two? And he'll look at Miss Holly and Willie.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Is that weird? Doesn't everybody always have the same dream?
Not usually unless we're being summoned by some being and or deity. So
I was
we
gonna
might
say,
it might be something significant for all of us.
we did run into some fairies.
Fairies? Oh Lord.
A pixie.
Paolo. Oh,
What
with
do
Paolo.
you think a deep taste like? Like,
I don't know.
would
I
it
didn't
be
take a
sweet? Would
fucking
it
bite out
like,
of them. I
What?
just no, Willie. And they didn't eat the pixies. They kept like she, like getting in her head, and I kept asking them to be quiet, and they kept like with the nonsense. Now I remember that.
Godric will just close his eyes and pinch his nose and be like, it doesn't surprise me that you're asking me that, Willie, but, or asking of that, Willie, but, I don't think now's the time, bud.
well, I would like to find out. I bet they are delicious.
I
I
lean
just
over
looked
to
at
Willie and tell him they taste like cotton candy and happy dreams.
I
Well,
just look at Fitz, and I look at Fitz and Willie for a moment and just say, "You are taking this very seriously. I can see."
well, everybody just keep their eyes out for what we saw in our dream. It might be something we need to look into if we come across it. So, in the meantime, let's go find us some lichen.
Well, this does kind of bring up the question. I mean, obviously we got to deal with the Lycan, but are we? The problem is being in the Feywild like this. Is this the Fey screwing with our head, trying to get us to go there, and then we end up as some sort of celebratory dinner? Or is this actually, the gods trying to help us here, and that we need to take this very seriously?
Well, I can tell you, Fitz, as a man of the cloth, I will tell you that the gods are always trying to speak to us in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to wager that that's what this is. But at the same time, until we come across the place in our dreams, we have to prioritize. And right now, we need to get our shit back and in order to do that, we need to pay our debt, and our debt is to hunt the Lycans and get them out of here because we still have warlocks. Apparently, one of them should be here somewhere. So, one step at a time, man. One step at a time.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What are the chances that a warlock is there in that labyrinth?
We'll find out. One step at a time.
All right. So the rest of your day's journey goes off without any hitch. You camp down for the night. Normal watch rotation, no issues. Godric that night does a fade in, fade out, and when it's time to wake up and start going again, he is Michelangelo for the next day. You don't have to swap your token. You saw how the rolls went.
Okay.
But for the second full day of travel now, Michelangelo is back. So after this one, Mike, Godric will have that 5 seconds of memory like we talked.
Okay.
But you guys keep walking for the day. Any conversations, anything want to happen?
I'm gonna talk to Michelangelo.
Good luck.
I'm gonna walk next to him and I'm gonna just say, I am a humble man of sorts, I guess. I just would like to apologize for my behavior. The ship is named after my dead child. My friend Godric, he disappeared from thin air and you popped up in his place, so it kind of threw me for a loop, and I just need to apologize for how I acted towards you. Please forgive me. I'm not here to cause you any harm.
And Michelangelo, he'll put his hand up to his mouth to do the shush motion, and he'll put his hand on Yurndris's chest, right over his heart, and then he'll do a big circle. Do you want him to try and perceive that, or you want me to just explain what I'm trying to say?
I mean, he can try and perceive it, because, you know.
That's for the DM.
Oh.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Do you want Yurndris to try and figure out what Michelangelo is saying? Or
Yeah, roll an insight for me, Yurndris.
Okay.
With advantage, because it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is.
Some people. Oh, apparently not.
If I hadn't scrolled up. Give her like every other word, Mike.
Okay.
Not literally, but, you know.
Yeah, love, group. That's every other word, because it was pretty short.
He's just gonna nod and walk back up next to Holly, I guess.
Okay. If there's nothing else for the day, the rest of the day's travel goes. You bed down for the night. Nothing happens. No issues. Michelangelo fades in and out during sleep. When it's time to wake up, Godric's back. And you guys start walking for the day.
Yindris is gonna say out loud, so, Godric, is this gonna be a thing that happens from now on? Because this is kind of a lot of information for us to take in.
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine, Yurndris. I have no clue. I'm hoping it doesn't, because obviously this might become an issue. But at this point, I don't know. But I can't. The best I can tell you is that tortoise got me through some really rough times when I first started traveling out in this world. So if there's anybody I'd want to have my back, it'd be him. So I'm sure he'll be glad to have all of yours.
Just say hypothetically, if this turtle dies in some capacity, does that mean that you're gonna die?
Once again, I'm a man of the cloth, not of the sorcery. I do not know.
Well, we'll bet on having neither of you die. So.
Well, pray to Apollo. I'll hope he, if he does, I don't, but I hope he doesn't either, because...
And Mike, out of character, you remember with our conversation, you remember the
Yeah.
5 seconds where you were, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making
So
sure.
I was getting into that. I was just letting
Okay.
Yurdris get what Yurdris wanted out.
I just want to make
So-
sure, because I have issues remembering, so I assume everybody
Yeah.
does.
So, this morning I do want to relay to the group that it's odd. I went to sleep last night and I dreamt of the tower. Now, Willie, Fitz, and Yurdris, I know you guys weren't there, but Miss Holly, the tower from our first encounter where we got sucked into the portal. I for some odd reason was dreaming of that place.
Has
It
to be a
was-
sign.
Yeah, once again, yeah, those gods always talking to us. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to tell us here, but I have the sneaking suspicion that this whole situation is tied to that tower.
You know which tower he's referring to, right, Pam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for anybody at home, because I don't think I have any videos on my YouTube channel, that is the tower in Shadowfell that was Soref's home prior to his imprisonment, that the wizard sent the original party to, where they found the portal crystal at the top of the tower and got sucked through to the Astral Sea, which is about where my stream history kicks off from. But Willie,
It's a sign that
Willie, Fitz,
we
and
might-
Yurndris, you have no idea what Godric is talking about because you weren't there for that part.
So somehow we have to go back home. Maybe help is needed.
I think so, Miss Holly. I think so. But one step at a time. One step at a time.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay. Anything else for the day? Or the morning, rather.
I'll speak up and say maybe our coexisting dreams and Godric's dream about just that whole thing that he was just talking about, maybe they're linked.
I'm not much of a betting man, Yurdris, but I would definitely bet on that being true.
Okay. You guys travel through the morning, stop for a brief lunch, and continue. It's early afternoon. You guys are about in this area here. On the world map, you're about where you leave the river and start continuing south. But you're up on a ridge line, and you look down over the ridge, and everybody roll me a perception check. Just to make sure, because I like to make you roll.
Right? Be nature, right?
Don't see much. My shiny armor.
Oh, it's not hard. Yeah.
The fluffy button is.
So, Willie and Miss Holly. Is that everybody? And Yurndris. Hold on. Okay. Yurndris. Sorry, Yurndris and Miss Holly, not Willie. You guys look down over the ridge, and you see what looks like the remains of a village. The village looks tattered, worn. It looks like a raiding party went through some time ago. Parts of the buildings are either semi-demolished or semi-burnt. But it's not so much the village that catches your guys' eye. It's freaking things. Hold on. Close your map and I'll reshare it, or close it, reopen it. You see within the village probably close to 30 seemingly Lycanoid type creatures. You're seeing what looks like it should be a donkey up on two legs walking around. You're seeing tigers, humanoid looking tigers walking around on two legs. It's very clear to you that these are lycanthropes of some variety. And there's probably about 30 of them wandering around this village.
I cannot see them. I get an error message in Fantasygrams.
As soon as you shared them, they popped up for me. I just did an update before we started playing, so.
Yeah, no, we've been having that issue with maps, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I see it. Okay, sounds fun.
And I'm putting you guys on the map up above the actual painted portion of the picture. You're up on a ridge. The ridge is maybe 50, 60 feet high above the village. So you're looking down at the village from this perspective.
Well, I am gonna whisper to Holly, this is bad. We need to get out of here.
We need to get out, or we need to light them on fire?
No, we need to leave, because all of it, with us 4 or 5, I'm bad at math. With us little amount of people and that many, we're all gonna get demolished. So we gotta go.
Did I catch any of that? I know she said she's whispering.
What's your passive perception?
12.
Yeah. You have no idea what she's talking about because you have no clue, but you heard her.
Okay.
And you can
what's going on?
The two of you that are looking down and spot this in the village. You all see the village, but it's just far enough away that if you're not paying attention, you don't catch all the movement in the village. But for Yurndris and Holly, you see them moving around the village, and they're coming and going, a lot of going. It's really, they come into town, they drop off some supplies, and then they go back out. And you're actually watching the numbers slowly decrease in the town.
Godrick's gonna say, what's going on?
There's a bunch of were-rats. There's
where
some
at?
tiger-looking
They're like
animals with some wares of some type.
Okay, well that would be Lycans. And that's what we came to deal with.
Buddy, there are so many out there. I don't think we can take them all without putting all of our lives in danger.
Oh, Apollo behind us. We can handle whatever they throw at us. We've taken on dragons. Have faith.
There's like 30 of them, buddy.
I look at Yandris and say, fire.
In the couple of moments, or the couple of minutes you guys have been talking, the numbers have decreased from 30 down to about 20.
They seem to disappear little by little.
And more are leaving out of the village.
I can't shake my head. You're like, look, they're getting away.
Can we look to see if we can see him now? Or Now that we're discussing them.
Oh yeah,
can we see
now that they've been pointed out to you, you're able to pick them off in the village. You might not be able to see all of them because they're moving around and there's obstacles, but now that it's been pointed out to you, you know what to look for and you can see them.
Okay. In that case,
If we try to attack them, we don't know if they start screaming that all of their buddies are going to come and get us, no matter how many start to leave. So I don't want to risk our lives right now.
well,
We should parlay, and then
are we?
when they least suspect it, we attack.
I think there's a more honorable way of taking care of this issue, Willie. But I'm glad you're thinking. It's good. Keep it up, buddy. Just don't hurt yourself.
Holly's gonna whisper to everybody and say, all I know, so there's a little village, which means that we might have items and things that could be helpful for us to fix Lyra. It looks abandoned enough, so whatever is in there, if we finish it,
Well,
it might be our benefit to do so.
the ones that are disappearing, can I tell whether or not they're disappearing with, like, crates, bags, supplies?
Make an insight check.
Or a portal that might be inside of there that they're just going in and out of the portal for fun.
13.
You saw them come in with supplies and set it down, and then leave town.
Okay.
You're not really sure what they're up to, though. Anybody else who wants to and is proficient at it can make an insight check, though. Now, screw the proficiency. Anybody can make an insight check if you want to try and, like, look at them and try to determine. Yeah, you got about the same realization as Godric there, Pam.
Haha, fits.
Well, it looks like they're gathering something from what I can tell.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Fitz, in your time in a military structured organization, you handled a lot of large personnel moving across countries. And this looks very much like hauling resources to set up a camp, a temporary camp. But with the way that things are being stacked and moved around, you can also tell that they aren't going to be here very long. It's not uncommon, however, for the supplies being pooled to be moved from the rear. So there's a good chance that they have to travel a decent distance to get the supplies to bring here.
Okay, so basically, it looks to me like this is some sort of forward base or staging base. These dudes are at war.
Well, that would make sense since the Herons said that they have been broke their treaty and are attacking them.
I just want to clarify for one point in case I misspoke, Jeremy. Your experience is based off military because that's what you were. But the technique used is for any large personnel moving group. So it's not a military specific thing. It's just something large groups do because it's easiest.
Whiteout claims it's a hobo camp, by the way.
Well, and I guess I just went to military because as far as we know, they are engaged in, at the very least, guerrilla actions against the...
Absolutely, and that makes sense for your character. I just wanted to clarify on the insight since you rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, I'm still thinking this is some sort of military operation. I mean, does it look like... Okay, let me ask this.
You rolled
With
the nat
that
20,
roll-
man. You're the one who should be asking me questions right now.
Does it look like the way they're behaving, like they're moving towards a target, like this kind of forward base or something, is like they're trying to get closer to the bunnies to better slaughter them all, or more like the place they're coming from, they're just trying to get away from?
They look hurried, anxious, worried, and they definitely look like they're running from something.
You know, guys, I think, and this is just kind of my opinion based on a lot of experience, but I don't think they're running towards a fight with the Hopagons. I think they're running from something. And I think whatever is chasing them away is what's causing the conflict right now.
Perfect. So let's find the conflict and kill it.
Did you call them hopping guns?
Yes, he did.
Herring guns. Sorry.
That was great. I loved it. No,
It took me a second. A little delay going on in the noodle.
Let him call it what he wants.
Hey, no, I'm all for it. It was more of a wait. Did I hear that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this, and please forgive me, Willie, but I think we should try diplomacy.
Here, I second that.
Isn't that what Willie already said?
That was my plan to begin with.
No,
We go down
Willie,
there and try to talk to them.
and then kill them when they're off guard.
Oh, I missed that part. That makes sense. That checks out.
Right, Willie, we're going to go with the first half of your plan, and we'll hold the second half until the first half goes completely sideways.
All right. Well, if that's a plan, which I totally agree with it. I don't think a whole entire party stomping into camp is going to be a good thing. How about me and Fitz head in together and see if we can find a leader, and you guys stay close, but just a little further back in case things go sideways.
You'll see fire as soon as I see anything bad going on.
Does that plan seem solid to everyone here?
I really wish we could just. I haven't killed something in so many days.
Okay.
As long as I'm away from this, yeah, sure, go right ahead. But I'm not going down there if it gets a little hazy.
All right. Well, let's do this, Fitz.
Yeah.
We're burning daylight.
Willie, I just keep this in mind, okay? If this works, that means we get to go kill something so big and bad, it's scaring a whole bunch of were creatures, okay?
But I was going to try to cut off their leg and see if it turned into a thing so we could eat them. You know, I had a whole plan.
That's me laughing. That's not Godric, by the way.
Oh, that was straight up me laughing.
Godric is going to shake his head.
That's right, I forgot Willie had that plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the plan is Godric and Fitz are going to go down as an envoy, and everybody else is going to stay up on the ridge.
I'm going to put a marker down where I think.
So the ridge, I will draw it for you. The ridge runs like this. So you would have to come down and around this way, or down
Okay.
and around this way.
All right, so then I'm going to finish your arrow with my arrow as to the direction I'd like to see us travel.
So you're going to come down the ridge and then kind of follow the ridge back so
Yeah.
that you're below the party when you make contact. Okay.
The thing is as I'm looking at this map, if we came in like to the west, northwest, I should say, or even the east, that's even closer, we'd be coming through trees, and that looks like where I'm pointing would be the.
I mean,
clearest.
there's trees there. It's just off map,
Yeah.
so we're theater of the minding a little bit.
Gotcha.
What are we doing with Sir Fluffy Butt, Jeremy?
I am going to ride in on top of him.
Okay, perfect.
He is a fey creature, so it's something, and obviously the bunny was really excited about it and all in awe, so maybe that will work on the were creatures too.
I'm gonna leave your token where it is then, and just move Sir Fluffy Butt for the time being, unless
Sounds
we
fair.
need to. One less token I have to worry about.
I think we need to have Eric make me a third token that's me on top of Fluffy Butt.
No, because then I have to. No, just no.
Fine.
Besides, we already have one of you mounting, and we just got to put a horn on it. It's the same one I used on our backdrop there. If you move the map to the side, you can see it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I put the horn on it. There you go. It's good to go. But, okay. When you're coming down the ridge, traveling along the ridge, how are you moving? Are you just going, or are you going to try and be kind of sneaky about it?
No,
Godric, sneaky? Are we serious here?
I think we should be open, and I'm going to make sure my Paylor symbol is very, right out there in front.
Okay.
And once we get close, I'm going to yell out, "Hello, the camp."
Okay. So as you're coming around the ridge, so when you come around to about this area right here, one of you, we'll say Sir Fluffy Butt, neutral party, steps on a rock that shifts, and it kind of slips down a hill and makes a bunch of noise. And you can see through the trees, one of the wereboars just lets out. Make an insight check, the three of you.
I've got that.
Hold him.
Perfect. That's good enough. He lets out a warning cry. Something's here cry. And you can see them kind of move into a defensive position around their supplies. And at this point, you guys would step through from the trees with your hands up and say, "Hello."
Hail!
They all just kind of sit there, tense,
Guys,
not
Wait,
sure
wait.
what to expect.
we mean you no harm. Do you have a leader or somebody we can talk to?
One of them kind of looks at you and lets out another roar. A loud calling roar. And at this point, give me 2 seconds. I have something special for you all.
Did we win $100?
No, you
Wait,
did not. That's your cue. You know who you are.
Huh.
A moment later, coming tumbling out of the forest, you see what can only be described as a white ape Lycan come barreling out of the forest, lets out a quick What do you want? Take it away.
We would like to talk.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, a couple of different things. First of all, we'd kind of like to know why you guys have broken the treaty and are starting to eat the Hassenpfeffer. And then we'd also like to know what you're running from.
So you come to our camp and accuse us of hunting other people, or beings, folks, whatever you want to call them, and expect us to answer that?
Well, considering 3 nights ago, 3 of the werefolk tried to eat me personally and my friends? Yes.
Well, those are not our people. We don't abide by those rules here. We're but peaceful folk. We want nothing to do with that.
Can you tell us anything about the ones that are not part of your group?
So you don't know.
No, we're new to the lands, and we're just trying to help the Heron Pfeffers.
So you haven't run into them yet.
Run into who?
The others. The ones that took our village.
Other than the 3 that my companion just mentioned? No. No, but if this is an evil that's plaguing your people and these Heron folk, then obviously that is our goal, to set out and find them and solve your problems along with theirs.
So are you saying that you mean us no harm?
No, we do not.
As soon as you say, no, we do not, you see the large white ape Lycan in front of you start to morph. His skin kind of wriggles a bit, and you see him change. And now before you stands a 5'8" furbolg. Brad, go ahead and describe your character, actually.
So this guy is going to be, actually I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you, but he's going to be more probably relaxed in this form, as you would think. Just kind of, the big grizzly beard, kind of looks like a worn traveler. Not anything super special about him, to be honest with you. Just kind of, yeah. I mean, I guess that's really the only thing I really can describe about him.
The one big thing of note that Fitz and Godric would notice would be he has an amulet around his neck that is the symbol of Saloon, the goddess.
Okay.
But he invites you in to sit while he recants the tale. And he recants a tale of some 6 months ago, as he was leader of the Lycan tribe, fully honoring the pact, the peace treaty. Go ahead.
Before we do this,
Mhm.
once they've proved non-hostile, I'm going to ask, can the rest of our group come in now? We wanted to make a peaceful meeting, so we didn't bring the whole group with us, but if you're going to explain things, I would prefer if you only had to explain it once.
Touche. Yeah, no issue there.
I think Airden should answer that question. He's the leader of the people here.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So long as your group means us no harm, as I have said, we are peaceful people. All are welcome here. But any violence or threat of violence or aggression is not tolerated and will not be tolerated in this village.
Okay.
Understood.
Before everybody makes it in here, I just want to preface this with our friend Willie is a barbarian and he's a little nuts, but he means no harm.
Speaking of, when Willie makes it down the hill, I'm going to stop Willie and go, Willie, don't eat these guys, please.
For you, friend. For you.
I know what you want to do, buddy, but these are not the ones we're going to do this to.
I will postpone eating them.
But there is word of some evil ones out there.
Ooh.
So I won't necessarily take it off the table, but just not with these folks.
For now, okay.
Thank you, Willie. And then we'll continue to...
Okay. Once the rest of the party has come down and gathered around, Erdan recants a tale, well, a story, a truthful telling, as far as anybody knows, of some 6 months ago, he was leading his tribe through peaceful times, fully up honoring the peace treaty in place with the Haringons, and just living life. You know, they understand they have this curse. They, through the grace of Saloon, discovered a ritual to help them control the animalistic side of it. And we're just living life until one day about 6 months ago when this monstrosity of a were-spider bitch, he says, just appears in the center of his village. And
I'm gonna look at Miss Holly.
And immediately, look at Pam's face right now. Sorry. And immediately begins seizing control and telling everyone that she is in charge now. And me and my few here, I know we seem like a lot, but most of us have nothing to do aggression-wise, but we resisted as long as we could, but eventually the majority uptook, and it was either become food for her or leave. So we fled to the mountains and hid while being hunted for the last 3 months, and we just recently were able to make our way down from the mountains, and we're now heading east for safety in the far lands.
If memory serves me correctly, when he said were-spider bitch, I immediately have flashbacks to a cave that we were in, and a were-queen got banished and didn't return, if I remember correctly. So I look at Miss Holly and go, I think I know who the problem is, Miss Holly.
Yeah. The spider bitch. We'll take care of her.
It's almost like a vengeful and petty little god has decided that he's not going to waste all the effort he put into making it.
It's your character, Brad. I gave the backstory. That's all you needed from me.
No, that's fair. Is Erdan hearing all this right now that they're talking about?
The conversation's happening right in front of you. You guys are all huddled together, so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, sorry, I should probably share the map with you, eh? Hey, Brad.
Which one? Let's say one.
Why is it not sharing with you?
Is it the abandoned village?
Yes.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
So-
say to Erden like, "Hi, hello, I'm Holly."
Oh yeah,
Um,
we didn't exactly properly introduce ourselves. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm Godric.
hello.
This is
Hello.
Miss Holly. Our companion Willie and Urdris and Fitz and their Urdris's faithful mastiff Hamish, and of course Mr. Sir Fluffy Butt back there is with Fitz.
So I would say Yurdon would ask, is this Willie the crazy one you spoke of?
Yes, yes.
Or he would
He
just look
just
at
gets
Willie and
hungry.
be like, why do they call you crazy?
I'm not crazy. If anything, Godric's crazy. He's the one who turns into a turtle.
Turns into a turtle. How is that? He doesn't look like a turtle.
Oh, you just wait. You just wait. I don't know how he does it. We haven't figured it out yet.
I look at Willie like, "You're already giving too much information. Let's let's just take a moment here."
It's
He asked, how am I supposed to know that he's the sea turtle? How?
it's a long story and an issue that we are dealing with, but it has no bearing on our current situation. I
Look,
can
What
wait,
is
get
your
there he
current
goes!
situation?
And
our
and then I'll be like, oh wait, no, never mind. He's not doing it
well,
now. I
it's
thought he was going to.
it's no secret that there's a broken ship north of us. That is our ship, and we are trying to get it repaired so we can move on with our travels. And um, in order to do so, we were sent to dispatch the or not dispatch, excuse my words, solve the issue with the attacks on the Herringon.
And I'm assuming that you believe that our people are at fault for the attacks on the Herringon.
Well, I don't mean to offend. As you can tell, we're new here. You guys obviously resemble the description that we were given, which are Lycan that are attacking. So of course, we didn't come in, swords drawn because we were trying to determine what was going on.
Okay. And what can we do for you then?
Can you point out where the spider bitch came from? Or where she is now?
Believe I can. It's a hike. If they're still there.
Yeah, if you guys present your world map, he will indicate directly the same place that Miss Pompey had indicated as to where the Lycans were known to reside.
Okay. Well, I mean, with armed with this knowledge, we can go deal with this issue. Hopefully, helping not only the Herringons but your people as well. So I really appreciate your forthcoming of the information. I would recommend that you keep your people distant from the Herringons because I don't think they know the difference between you and the bad ones.
We avoid them. Yeah, we avoid them. We, like I said, we're peaceful. We want no problems. But if
Great.
you are going to go after the spider bitch, as you call her, then I must insist that I show you the way and help you with this.
I'm all for that. Let me check with the rest of the group. I don't I do a lot of speaking, but I try not to make all the decisions on my own, obviously. Anybody have any objections to that? Yurndris, Willie, Fitz, Miss Holly.
Oh, I want to get out of here as fast as possible. Can we please speed this along?
Why do you want to leave so fast?
I'm not good in village settings, so can we please hurry this conversation up?
Please don't mind Yurndris. Yurndris is not
He's
not
had a lot of
quick,
trauma.
not quick to warm up to anybody. I'll just put it that way. We love you, Yurndris.
Well, I would say, based on the conversation, I would say that Ernan would offer a warm meal or whatever they can to help at this point in time, should the party need it. Since they, well, didn't come in swinging, I would say.
As long as it's not an eyeball soup, I'm game for trying it.
No, some of the camp was preparing food for the rest of them, and there's a stew, potatoes and some meat in it, some carrots, no eyeballs.
So definitely no Willies doing the cooking.
I probably got a couple if we want to throw some in.
No, it's already cooked. It's like simmering off to the side, so it's available if offered or stolen.
It would not need to be stolen. We would offer it graciously. We're peaceful people. We just want to live our lives in this village. Well, we'd like our village back, obviously.
Sure.
Speaking of peaceful, are you aware of where I could find and meet a werebear?
How did I know that was gonna come up?
Honestly, I think we were both kind of waiting on that one.
we talked about it extensively. Not gonna lie. Erdon, you recall werebears are extremely rare. You've only ever known of one that existed, and it lived deep in the mountains to the west in seclusion, and was obviously not a part of your tribe and very much given into its animalistic nature. So you all just kind of avoided it.
But it just so happens we're heading to a cave that's in the mountains to the west.
That's just the landmark I used for where the village is. Their
No,
village.
you circled a cave right there.
Yeah, that's the landmark I used to indicate their village.
Oh, I thought the circle up north was their village.
No, that's where you guys are currently.
Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. I got you. Okay, never mind. It took a few seconds for 1 and 1 to equal 2 there. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you guys are at their temporary village now as they're fleeing east. The circle farther down on the map, that cave, that's where the original village is. And it's about a day and a half hike from where you are right now. So what are you guys doing?
Well,
hanging out, taking off.
What time is it now?
It's early afternoon.
Well, I mean,
if you ate some of the stew they offered, it could be considered an early supper. Fairly early, but not really early. So like 3-4 o'clock afternoon time.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, Godric's intentions at this point is enjoy a warm meal because he has yet to have one in a couple days in his mind.
Okay. Yeah, I would venture to say that you would have eaten while you guys are talking.
Okay.
Conversational stew. So anybody who wanted to eat could have eaten while the conversation was going on. It's like I said, it's a nice meat and potato stew. Nothing super fancy about it, but
Great.
definitely
So-
filling. Okay.
So other than the Were Queen and the Were Bear, any other useful information you might have for our trip to the mountains?
I guess it depends on what you want to know. I don't know what's useful to you.
Well, I mean, obviously, any perils that we should, avoid. Anything to keep our eyes out for. Just,
I mean,
we're obviously not from here, so I mean, we're technically from another plane of existence. I'm just gonna put it out there. So we are literally new to here.
I can say that I might relate to that at some point.
And
PM, would he have any useful
Erdon,
information?
you'd
for
go
us?
on to explain that the traveling is pretty straightforward as far as what you would assume any wilderness travel would be. You just gotta generally keep your wits about you the entire time, and with a little bit of luck, just like anywhere else, you'd be fine. As far as getting to the village goes, the majority of the tribe camps along a ridge line at the base of a mountain, and it sinks back into a cave. And the cave isn't very big, but it is definitely well defended, or a well defensible position rather. And it's been some 6 months, so you're not really knowledgeable in terms of if any defensive preparations have been made or numbers or anything like that once you arrive.
So sounds like as Willie would put it, a typical Tuesday. We're gonna have to fuck around and find out. That
Can I
sound
ask what
accurate,
time of
Willie?
day it is?
Whoever was talking other than Mike, what did you say?
I was gonna say, can I ask what time of day it is when we get here?
Oh yeah, it's like 3-4 o'clock
In the afternoon or morning?
afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yep.
And Holly just kind of falls asleep for a little bit, and like as all this talking is going on, she just she just falls asleep and she's taking a little nap after dinner.
Kind of doze off. Exhaustion
Yeah.
starting to wear in a little bit.
She's just like, oh yeah, spider bitch, yeah.
Okay.
No, I talked her out of that exhaustion. Remember?
Yeah, she doesn't. It's mental exhaustion, not physical exhaustion.
Okay. Oh, okay.
She still
He's
takes
had a
a little
lot
nap
going on.
to finish
Yeah.
having supper, good supper after it's been a rough couple of days. So it's not like she doesn't want to be in the conversation. It's just she feels comfortable and safe at the moment that she just
Godric's
kind of
back.
got us back. Willie wants to eat things. We're back to her everyday life. So she's just kind of takes a little nap while all this conversation is going on.
Fitz is sober.
For
He's
now.
sober now.
Uh,
Yendris is
gonna
not
look at Godric and be like,
a new handkerchief. We're back to our everyday life and what everybody's used to doing at this point. Hamish is just there, eating. I hope something.
sounds like you all need to rest.
Well, it sounds like you
Okay.
guys are gonna take off and start moving. Erdan, before you leave, obviously you talk to your second and let him know what's going on and to keep the tribe moving eastward to safety. And that you'll return to them as soon as possible. And y'all collect your stuff and continue along the way. You get, another 4 hours or so of hiking done. And it comes up to evening time. Anything else you guys want to talk about, either during that walk or before you bed down for the night?
No, we strategized. Chit chatted a little bit. So no, I'm good.
I'm gonna ask. I can't remember the name now of the monkey.
Erdon. Am I
Erdon,
pronouncing
yeah.
that right, Brad? Was it Erdon or Eardon?
Yeah, no, that's right. The monkey.
The monkey. Okay.
I love it.
Erdon.
Yes, correct.
So I'm just curious. Is lycanthropy like really common in the Feywild, or I mean, is this like all hereditary? The curse was passed down to your parents, or why is there such a large concentration of you guys here?
I'll take that one, Brad, because we didn't discuss that.
A little bit. Some of it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he goes on to explain that lycanthropy doesn't pass down hereditarily, not in terms of what you see in front of you right now. The offspring of lycanthropes is what they refer to as shifters here in the Feywild. Kind of similar, but different, and a more natural adaptation to the ravage sides of things. In terms of the concentration amount, you explained that your tribe is specific to helping individuals cursed with lycanthropy, and you emphasize that the tribe does believe lycanthropy to be a curse, that you seek them out and give them a peaceful alternative to their existence. So there are some here in the Feywild that run wild, and that's kind of what you guys would run into normally on the material planes in terms of Lycans. There's nothing the tribe can really do about them, unfortunately, but anybody bitten by them, the tribe seeks out and finds and offers to bring them back and put them through the ritual to give them control and peace in their life. And that's why there's such a saturation of them in this area, because that's where they live.
Wait. There's a ritual to help people that are cursed with lycanthropy gain control.
Control over the animalistic side of it.
I'm gonna have to ask you to teach me that ritual.
Erdon's going to be hesitant at first to respond to that.
You don't understand. That opens up a whole new collection of children for my wife to raise in our orphanage back home.
I forgot you guys collect kids like Pokemon cards for a second there.
Right?
Trying to think of how Erdon would respond to this. While he's I would say taken back a little bit by the interest that it fits, correct?
Yeah.
That Fitz is going in lycanthropy. He's a little unsure of how to respond to that, and again wants to remind Fitz that this, our belief is that this is a curse, and that we don't knowingly transfer this because it's a like I said, it's a curse. It's something that you have to deal with, and what comes with lycanthropy, there's a cost to that.
Oh no! I am so sorry if I didn't explain this properly. I'm not looking to infect people with it. I mean, that's why I'm looking for werebears for myself. But I mean that in the prime material plane, we just hunt them down and kill them. We don't have a ritual like that I'm aware of, and that would help me save a lot of people. And where I'm from, if your parents were shifters or were lycanthrope, it passes down to the children. So they're a little better off, but I mean, let's face it, children are wild, chaotic, destructive things naturally. But then when you add supernatural strength or reactions and animalistic urges on top of what they're already dealing with, that creates a lot of damage and leads to a lot of dead children that don't have to be.
Intrigued. But still very, very hesitant to even entertain the conversation. Because again, there's a cost to this. And while it seems that your intentions are good, again, because Erdon doesn't really know you guys just yet, there's a huge cost, and he's going to remind Fitz, there's a very big cost to lycanthropy, which is why they live in the village that they do, and obviously you understand that based on the conversation we just had.
You would mention as well that the ritual has a very large cost to it.
Correct.
Not just the lycanthropy itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I tell you what, I understand your hesitancy, and I completely understand, but I will win you over.
Erdon's gonna ask if Fitz believes in any divinities or anything like that.
Well, I personally am a paladin of Palor. My mother is the second highest ranking priestess of Saloon, and my father was an angel, or is an angel.
Name dropper.
He asked.
Oh no, go ahead. Continue, please. Go ahead.
So yes,
Was that it, Fitz?
Yeah, I mean that's both sides of the family. So
He's gonna ask how close are you to your deity? He's not familiar with Palor. He's not familiar with what Palor believes or any of that. He is familiar, obviously, with Saloon, but he's not, again, not familiar with Palor and questions how close you are or what your faith is like.
Palor's a really good god. He's got very few tenets that are even really troublesome. Destroy all undead with extreme prejudice, preferably with fire or daylight. Help those in need, and just kind of, spread. Just try to make everybody's life as good as possible. And I kind of picture Palor as Dalton from Roadhouse, Be nice.
Roadhouse!
Just be nice until it's time to not be nice, and then just rip their throats out.
The question still remains of, how's your faith with him?
Actually, since I learned a couple little cantrips involving fire and radiance, I think we're actually closer than we've ever been.
And are you sure of this?
Oh, pull out my symbol of Paylor. Kind of hold it in my hand, and I'm gonna look at it and really study it. I believe with all of my heart that I am in the good graces of Paylor. I do everything I can to try to exemplify him and the things he holds dear. Everywhere I go, I try to make the lives better of those people I meet. I have never met an undead that I didn't destroy in one form or another. Really excited about the fire thing now. I believe I believe wholeheartedly that I am in as good a graces as I can be without hanging out there in his heavenly palace with him. I'm gonna get just a big goofy grin on my face and kinda get a little misty-eyed. Yes, I am in a very good place with my god. Paylor has blessed me beyond words, and I have done everything in my power to be worthy of that.
Erdon's gonna lay his hand on Fitz's shoulder and just look at him and say, I hope that your faith remains as strong as you say it is. For the next few days, we'll tell.
You know, that sounds strangely ominous, but I just got a direct response from my god that I am a good boy, so I'm not gonna let it bug me.
I mean, yeah, I don't, DM, I don't know if you want me to add anything else in there, if I'm missing something. Yeah, okay. All right, fair. I yeah, that is true. I think honestly, at this point, I think that's where Erdon's gonna kind of leave it for right now, in regards to the whole werebear thing. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, there's something I would like to do. I just got to remember what tab it's on. If I remember. Which tab is the spells on? Is that actions?
Yep.
So I'm sorry, I'm used to using Owlbear, not excuse me, not Fantasy Grounds. Let's see if I have it. I would like to cast Guidance on myself. If that's okay. That's for the perception check, right? And sorry guys, taking me a second to kind of get through stuff. I apologize.
Yep. That's alright, we've all been there. Some of us are still there sometimes. Like
Yeah.
me.
And me. Oh my god, me and nature.
Listen, he just had a massive panic attack being in that village, so He's on one.
So how do you click on actual perception? Is that how you roll it? Got it. Okay. Yes. Did that roll? I can't tell if that rolled or not. What is going on right now? I'm double clicking it. What's going on?
Like on the actual number thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good lord,
Yeah,
I've been muted. Yeah, I was going to try the click and drag method. Just left click on the plus symbol, and then it should have a dice pop up on your mouse.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Take it over to the chat box. Yep.
Definitely gonna roll that. Not much of a help, but
She's just moving around while she's having this ring. Moving around. Like she's just in her sleep. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? Why does it matter to you? Why? I come from an orphanage. I'm never safe. Why am I so... What's so important about me? What happened?
What, my nighttime roll? We'll see if Airden gets to see it. Looks like he does. Okay. So, Michelangelo's essentially a Ninja Turtle. It's the most simplest form I can quickly give to you. Belt. Yep. Yep. And a set of nunchucks hanging off that belt as well.
So in the morning, as he's looking at Michelangelo for the first time, I'm gonna walk by you and Ratchet. I'm just gonna be like, "See, told you." And
Oh,
it's
Bubba, you're
like keep
breaking
walking.
up.
That's it. That's it.
Erdon's just gonna look at him like in a confused look, just like he doesn't understand.
Michelangelo obviously is gonna look at Miss Holly and point at Erdon and shrug.
He's okay. He's no danger. We've I don't know where to get started. So you disappear, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Gotrick came back to life. We made it
Mm.
to this little village, and instead of burning down the place, we talked to this kind human for now, Erdan. And what?
He's a furball. A Wookiee.
But this is Holly talking, and she doesn't really express herself as she should sometimes. So this is Holly speaking to a turtle, trying to explain what just happened.
Yeah, she's talking to a turtle about a fur bug.
Well, this, and I point at it. He's been kind so far, no threat. And you weren't here for the bitch spider, but apparently, an evil, it I, an evil thing that I happened to banish, unfortunately, maybe appeared in one other village. We don't know for sure if it's the same spider or not. I haven't seen it to confirm it, but it sounds like it. And they destroyed and did some damage, and of course, unfortunate circumstances happened. Um, and we're gonna go find this spider creature because he can lead us the way. And of course, Gotrek went to sleep, and now here you are.
And
That summarizes everything.
I was just gonna ask about that. I was just gonna let her finish, though.
and
I have not confirmed it, Mr. DM. I said it sounds like maybe the spider that I might have vanished. I will confirm that once I see it face to face.
Right. uh, okay, so on that note, Michelangelo is just gonna nod, like okay, and then he's gonna point at a rock and do the okay symbol. Does you want to try and
Okay.
figure out what he's saying,
You would
or do you think
recognize
you
that when
know?
he points at a rock from now on, he's referring to Godric.
Yeah,
right.
he disappeared because when you appear, he vanishes, then you vanish, and then he's here. It's a mess.
And Michelangelo shake his head and kind of close his eyes, doing the okay type nod. But he's gonna point at the rock and then point down and then go okay symbol. You want to try and interpret that?
No, like I don't know where Godric is. He was perfectly fine. He
make an
went to
insight check,
sleep and
Pam.
You're talking to Michelangelo. You better get those insights ready.
Oh boy.
Just hotkey it.
Give me a second, because the turtle talk and then the
Uh-huh.
and I can't.
I don't know where he is. You're stuck on the I have no idea where Godric is, Michelangelo.
Okay.
Why do you keep
You know
asking
where
me?
he is.
Okay. We're gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Out of character, nobody knows this. I was trying to ask if he was okay while he was here.
I know that.
But you couldn't figure it out. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So you guys go ahead.
I was gonna say, while they're having this conversation, Erdon wants to walk up and ask Miss Holly what she's talking about, this spider. Since he heard her talking about that.
Many moons ago, we had a little visitor of a female spider, I believe it was.
For you, it would have been
And-
about a month ago.
A month
For who?
ago.
Erdon or for
No.
Holly?
For Holly. For you, Erdon, it was a little over 6 months ago. For Holly, it was a little over a month ago. That's when you had that
Gotcha.
encounter.
So a little over a month ago, we came across a spider-looking thing, and I banished it, which means that it can go to another plane of existence, maybe temporarily, or maybe it can come back. Now, I cannot confirm this is the same entity that unfortunately destroyed the village, but I will confirm that once I see it, I can definitely recognize if it will be the same or not.
So, before I ask this, does Erdon know what the spider bitch looks like?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So Erdon would ask Miss Holly what the spider looked like that she banished.
Very big, purple, tentacles, face, body, very scary looking,
Give me
bitch looking.
give me a history roll.
Who?
You. See how well you recall exactly what she looked like. Okay. Yeah, you're pretty spot on with your description, and Erdon, what she describes is seemingly identical.
So that's going to begin to frustrate Erdon, knowing that this is possibly the reason why him and his people have been put out. And he's going to ask Miss Holly why she banished this creature, not knowing where it's going to go.
Well, at that moment, it was a threat for us, and we were already dealing with other creatures, and we were in danger. So the only solution at that point was to unfortunately banish her for our protection.
And what about those of the place that you banished her to?
Well, we didn't know where she was gonna go. She could have also come back. We wouldn't know what the risk would have been by her banishing her, other than at that moment she would have been an issue for us anymore, that we were in threat at that time.
Godric being proficient in insight.
Except
I'm
you're not
gonna-
Godric right now, you're Michelangelo.
I was just going to say,
Oh,
is Godric
right,
with us?
that's right. I looked at the wrong character sheet because I don't have the other character up right now.
Just pull both of them up at this point.
All right, sounds good.
Anybody paying attention, even without an insight check, would be able to tell that Erdon is frustrated and
Michelangelo's got insight too.
Trying to come to terms and comprehend the why of the decision to banish this creature instead of destroying it. And you can kind of see little specks on his hairline starting to turn that white ape color. And then it goes away, and you can tell that he's holding back a lot of rage during this conversation. It's a very tense moment for him.
Yindris will speak up and he'll go, "Listen, buddy, it was a life or death situation. It was either we die or we deal with this problem at a later time. And right now, it's the later time. We're sorry that this has happened to your people. And if it's the same weird spider bitch that you claim it is, then we will handle her now. But at that time, we had nothing. We almost died. We're sorry."
At this point, I'm going to say both Yindris and Miss Holly make a persuasion roll.
Michelangelo's going to nod his head and point at Yindris.
Sack of shit.
Erdon, you want to believe him, you just can't.
I'm trying to help Yindris' case. Can Yindris get a help with that roll?
Sure, Yindris, go and roll again.
Like, knock my computer over?
That's a little better. Erdon, you're not 100% sure if they're telling the truth or not, but you can hear the truth in their words. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll explain it better. But you can hear truth to their words. Your rage is kind of eating at you a little bit, and you're not sure.
I think the response that Erdon would have would to be looking at Yindris and say that while he understands that it was your life, but your justification for what you did was to send this off and displace how many people from his village and who knows what else. Because obviously they've been on the run for a while. And, and I'm sorry, we didn't clarify this, DM, previously. Have any of the Lycan tribe been actually killed by or anything like that? Have we actually lost anybody?
Yeah.
That was something we didn't talk about.
Yeah, you guys were hunted through the mountains for about 3 months before starting to make your way east. And during which time, there were about 30 of you at the village they found you at. Your numbers, probably about 2/3 of you were cut down during that time frame.
And so he's going to relay that information to Yindris and say that while you're sorry, what do you expect, Erdon to think of this? That he's the leader of this village that had 2/3 of his people cut down by a creature that you banished because you couldn't handle him. Does that make sense?
Chris will speak up again, and he's gonna go, "Listen, I understand where you're coming from. My entire village was wiped out by a group of disgusting, terrible people. We didn't know what would happen, but if it was you in our situation, we're pretty sure that you would have done the same exact thing. It was either you save all of your friends and everybody you know and love, or you kill everybody, and that's what happens. I don't know how else to relay that it wasn't any malicious intent."
Michelangelo's going to stand up. He's going to put his hands up, like, stop. He's going to point one towards Yindris and one towards Erdon. He's going to look at Michelangelo, and for the first time, he's going to use his telepathy on Yurndris. Yurndris, you're going to hear him say, "That was then, this is now. This needs to stop. We need to go."
Was getting to that point, my friend. He's looking directly at Michelangelo. Like, I was trying to get there, just my words are getting kerfuffled.
Erdon, you don't hear anything come out of Michelangelo. You just hear Yurndris say that.
Understand.
I'll be like, yes, I agree. I agree. They should fight.
No. No, Willie.
I was going to say that is going to completely confuse Irdon at this moment.
No, no.
That
Did I misread this?
he's
No one's fighting.
unsure of how to handle this at this point.
Yeah. All right.
No one's
Or-
fighting. We're not fighting. Really.
And
No.
he's going to just reiterate that you said that you were going to come here in peace, and now you were claiming to fight.
Okay. All right.
Michelangelo's gonna-
Everybody take a breath.
Yeah, Michelangelo's just going to sigh, shake his head. No.
Look, here's what you need to understand, and I think maybe this is getting lost somewhere in the translation. The spell banishment, as explained to us by our caster, what it does is if you cast it on something and it's not originally from that plane, it sends it back to that plane. So all we did was we sent it back where it came from. So this originally was a problem for the Feywild. How the hell it ended up where it's at, I don't know.
You got any insight on that, DM?
There's really no insight to be had there. You're familiar enough with the arcane and with banishment that you understand how the spell works. You know, you understand that if you banish something, it's not from that plane. It goes back to where it came from, as long as the spell runs its course. So that makes sense to you. You're starting to calm down at this point. Like, you know, it's just an emotional conversation for you because you lost family members over the course of the last 6 months.
I would say that as he's calming down, he would look at Yindris, and all he's simply going to say is that he can relate more to Yindris than Yindris knows. And that's all he's going to say about it. And then he'll turn and walk away from the situation for the time being.
Great. Yindris is just gonna stand there like, well, fuck. My bad.
Michelangelo's just going to motion towards the path and do the little like, come on, let's go.
All right.
Holly starts just walking away. She's not gonna say anything. She's explained enough. She's been tortured enough to keep giving more explanations on why or what she does to save her family. So he doesn't know that, but she's just gonna walk away from it right now.
All right.
This is day 2 of our journey, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first full day of your guys' journey. So you're expected to get there about afternoon tomorrow.
I would say at this point, Erdon, seeing as everything's going on, is just quietly going to start walking down the path.
Okay. Anybody else have any conversation they want to do? Anything special you want to do while traveling?
Looking for mushroom.
Okay. Perception check.
Hey, man.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna try and keep the group morale up, being like, guys, we kind of need each other right now. Can we not
Sure.
be little tiny babies
And
and
Yurndris,
act like adults?
you owe me 2 animal handling checks at this point. You don't find any mushrooms while walking.
Yeah. Well, with all the commotion going on, that doesn't surprise me.
Absolutely. So you work with Hamish on, the basic come, stay, that sort of stuff. It's really all you can do while you're moving. He's getting pretty good at it. You say sit, stay, and you walk down the path and look back, and he's still sitting there, and then you give him a here, and he heals up to you. You're pretty confident. It still needs combat tested, but you're pretty confident that he'll listen to you to those 3 commands at least under most circumstances.
Perfect.
So, but if nobody has any other conversations or anything, I am gonna stop the game here for the night, because if we get to the next part, it's gonna be, it just won't work to get into it now with 13 minutes left. So
Bum bum bum.
I'm still gonna leave the stream going. We're still gonna be here for 13 minutes. If you guys think of anything you want to do or say, by all means bring it up. Otherwise, welcome Brad, at least temporarily, to the party. This is a good chance for you guys to get to know him. If you're curious, he's Whiteout233 in the chat. So that's who he is in terms of keeping up with the story.
Viewer participation. This is awesome. I love it. Welcome to the group, Brad.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chat involvement to
Yes,
the
I won't
max.
eat
What's
for
that?
now. I said I guess I won't eat you for now.
Absolutely. But this is Brad. He's an old army buddy of mine. Done a couple of my Sunday one-shots with me. Playing a centaur barbarian and killing it.
I think Max and I have actually played together before.
You did.
Yes, sir.
On the second one, yep.
We were both centaurs.
You were.
Yep, that's right. We tried to pile into that tent.
2 centaurs trying to pile into a pop-up tent built for Goliaths.
It was a centaur cuddle party. It was so fun.
It worked. You guys backed in, kept your hind flanks covered at least.
Was that a NC-17 show? Was it?
No, nothing like that. I run a clean one shot. The campaigns, on the other hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your campaign's got somebody who eats anything that moves.
Well,
Also,
surprisingly
that
enough,
is-
we're like 7-8 months in, and you guys have only committed war crimes like once. So
Only war crime the first time.
Yeah, well, we've only found one of the warlocks so far.
this is true. This is true. Well, no, you ran into that other one twice. Twice, I think.
No, Lorat's the only one I've ever met. I
Oh,
ran into him twice.
yeah. Holly and Godric, you guys ran into him twice before you got thrown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't fight him, you just saw him, but you did run
Yeah.
into him. Yeah.
Now that is actually the warlock that is our first target that we didn't make it to. That is the evil that keeps Godric up at night. Actually,
The wonderful backdrop I have for your guys' fantasy ground, that's him standing there looking down at all of you.
We don't have this one yet, but
Wait, what?
I still hopes he comes back at some point and he's like, "Oh, Fitz, you thought you could destroy me."
if that happens, no whole barred. Like seriously, there ain't nothing I can do to stop Fitz. I know it already.
We might have to find a reason for Willie to be gone for that episode so you can replay your role, because you did a great Lorat.
Wait, Lorat's gonna come back again?
I can't
There was an
confirm
if,
or
I think
deny,
that's
but
it.
if it ever happened, Willie would just be non-existent for some random... He got spoofed out. He got torn out for that episode so that Eric can play Lorat again.
Quit giving the DM ideas, guys. We don't want to go through that again.
Oh, if
And-
only you knew.
For the record, Jeremy, I am not a little god who was pissed off that his minion didn't get used, okay? The second it
Hey.
got banished.
Hey, I said little petty god, alright? Get it right.
Okay, well, you got the petty part right, but not the little god.
Wow.
All right, what'd you guys think about today? Not a whole lot happened, but
Honestly, actually, I think we made some big steps, even though it didn't seem like much, because our initial set out was to find the Lycans and get to the bottom of why the treaty was broken, and we did exactly that.
you at least got
Now,
information about it. You just got to figure out
well,
how to
no,
fix it now.
we found exactly that we found out that the Lycans aren't actually behind this. Somebody else is behind this.
Well,
So
technically, it's still a lichen. It's just the
And
spider lichen.
And Erdan would have explained that some of his tribes people did join her side and stayed behind. I don't know if that was mentioned earlier, but it would have been when he was
No.
telling his story.
No,
But
we didn't.
There-
we
there-
didn't. We didn't mention that.
there was a small portion of the village who gave in to the animalistic side and the freedom of inhibition that she was offering and joined her.
Okay, well,
So
that's information.
looking forward, you have her and some lichens to encounter if you can find them.
Oh, we'll find them. If anything,
We're
we'll
just gonna
find one of the
promise-
evil ones. We'll kill it and let Willie take a whiff of the blood, and we'll let him hunt him down.
However y'all want to go about it. So.
I was gonna say, even if we don't find one, we're just gonna tell Willie he can eat them when he finds them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There you go.
Basically, we're just gonna depend on Willie to hunt these things down like animals.
That works. Moving forward, Mike, I just go ahead and grab Godric and Michelangelo.
Yeah,
They can, both of them can sit up top. It's just too much to go back and forth like that.
absolutely. Yeah, and it took way too long when I was
Yeah.
trying to swap over. So
Yeah,
Totally
in
agree.
situations like this where we're covering multiple days per episode, just go ahead and
Yeah.
do that. You know, if we're in an encounter and it's looking like it's going to last the majority of the session,
Well,
just grab whichever
tech-
one you're using.
technically, now that the cat's out of the bag on what's going on with the two of them, I don't think it's necessary to keep them hidden.
That's
anymore.
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead and just grab both of them. I'm
Yeah, I
cool
will.
with that. And after Godric comes back next time, he has a better idea of what's going on, as we
Okay.
discussed. So,
Yep. Little bit every time. I remember that.
Yep.
Yep.
5 seconds worth every time.
Yep.
So,
So
all right. Well, anybody got anything else before I raid out the stream to support a fellow D&D enthusiast?
no.
I want to go say a quick word to Ergon,
Okay.
Erdon,
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Monkey Man. I'm gonna just say, we really didn't mean any harm or anything. We're all a little tense. We've had a rough couple of days here. If you took any offense to any of our words, we're sorry. I'm just trying to explain to you that we really do mean you no harm in any way, shape, or form. We're trying to make a wrong a right. And the past is in the past.
I would say Eridon would, keeping in the ideology of the tribe, would accept the apology, and he'll just leave Yindris with that one day they will talk, because like he said, they relate more to each other than Yindris knows. but he will accept your apology.
So I'm gonna ask. We're going to use your name Whiteout because this is actually specified more towards your person than your character. Obviously, you've been enjoying the stream. How's it feel to actually get to be a part of it?
I mean, I'm loving it. I don't know how much the DM wants me to answer completely, but I'm loving it. To be honest with you.
Who cares what DM thinks? I'm more curious about what you think.
I mean, it's. I mean, DM, how much do you want me to share with them?
Nothing in terms of what you know moving forward in the campaign.
Yeah.
Which really, honestly, isn't that much. We pretty much covered any insight I gave you towards what's coming, so...
So I can talk about everything that led up to this point, at least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've been planning this for weeks.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
So that's what I was gonna get at is
like probably over a month. Pam, when you came in here last night and you're like, "Hey, my buddy Eric wants to get on the campaign," and I was like, "I'll talk to you about that tomorrow." This is why.
Got it.
Because 7 would be way too much.
Yeah, Jacob and I, we've been working together on this for about a month now, going back and forth, coming up with the idea of the character. And honestly,
I will say,
Jacob, I gotta give it to you, man. You got me on the hey, describe your character, and I was like, oh shit, we did everything else but think of that.
The trickiest part of the whole ordeal was getting Eric to make the character tokens without him knowing what they were for.
And honestly, like, I was just gonna say, honestly, that's been the funnest part about all of this is getting to kind of mess with you guys on the stream a little bit, teasing y'all, interacting with y'all, hearing you guys joke about stuff, having no idea what was coming and everything like that. And Jake and I are messaging each other on the side, you know, oh my god, they have no idea this is gonna happen, you know, da 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 da, all this other stuff. There's definitely some other hints that as we go on, I'll bring them up. I don't necessarily want to expose too much of Erdon's character too much right now.
Fair enough.
But once I bring them up to you guys, you will understand because I gotta hand it to Jacob. He dropped some really subtle hint to you guys, and I think most of those hints kind of flew by you guys, and it was just my girlfriend and I sitting here watching the stream every week was just very, very entertaining. Just being like, oh, kind of thing, you know.
I'm gonna pause you right there because this is getting into a personal conversation, which by all means we will continue. But I'm gonna say good night to everybody. Thank you for coming and watching the stream. Super love it. Stick around. We got lucky. I am about to raid Critical Role, which if you don't know is something I watch habitually, and I don't steal content from them, but I use Matt Mercer's method of DMing to help me develop as a DM. So if you want to stick around and watch it, feel free, but super lucky to get over there and raid them tonight. And we will see you next Friday. We will be playing. So have a good night and goodbye. Oh, man. They don't accept raids.
Oh, bummer.
I mean, it makes sense with how big they are, but that's okay. We got a different one here. Drop a raid in.
I'm always down for raiding.
Oh, why not?